Hello, everyone. A very logical day to all of you. I hope you have been reading the editorials. And yes, this is something that I repeat every day. I'll still repeat it that you have to read the editorials. You have to go through to the discussion because this is what is going to help you in coming up with a better accuracy in solving your RCs. That is the reading comprehension, right? Because you will be able to extract the central idea very easily. By the time you appear for the mock tests or the actual CLAT, you have enough time to do this, right? And this is not the only exercise that we are going to do. We'll soon come up with something new also that is going to help you. So let's see what the editorial holds for today. 25th January, the first editorial of the Indian Express, that is State of Graft. Now, if you know the meaning of graft, fine. If no, no problem. Grafting, kahin na kahin, you must have read or heard this word. If not, the skin grafting also you must have heard. There's grafting done with the plants also. So we'll, for those who are joining now, that means starting from this editorial, we'll tell them that we come up with the reading of the editorial, understanding the central idea without maybe knowing the meaning of the words, right? Then second, we'll be coming up with the discussion of the main idea, and third part will be the vocabulary discussion. So let's start this. The center's flagship housing project, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, aims to provide pakka houses to people in rural areas who are homeless or living in dilapidated houses. We can understand the meaning of the word homeless, so we need not know the meaning of dilapidated houses, but you can understand. But in West Bengal, the scheme's primary purpose has become a casualty as the ruling Trinamool Congress cadres seem to be using this yojana for personal benefits. For more than a month, protests have been raging in several districts against the ineligible people finding their way into the list of the beneficiaries, the potential beneficiaries. So there have been protests because there have been ineligible people in the list there. They are benefiting from this yojana. Now, an investigation by this newspaper has revealed that impropriety began at the first year of the process. That means at the block level. You need to understand the use of the punctuations also. So, the first year of the process के बाद छोटा सा dash है. इसका मतलब it is giving an expansion of this word first year, that is at the block level. And then they are coming up with what happened in the block level at Purba, Bardhanam, North 24 Parganas and South 24 Parganas. Among the districts affected by the protests, the name of a deputy pradhan of a TMC ruled panchayat, a party core committee member, another party worker who is also panchayat member figure in the list of beneficiaries, even though they own pakka houses. We do not need to come up with those districts, the names, right? But we can understand this word even though. Right? So even though they own pakka houses, they are there in the list of the beneficiaries. So you can understand the main point. What was the Yojana? The Yojana was about providing pakka houses to those who are living in the dilapidated ones or those who are homeless. Right? There have been protests. Why? Because ineligible people have been found in the list of those beneficiaries. And who are those ineligible people? Are people here who own a pakka house, still they are in the list. Very easy idea. Now, implementation of the scheme in West Bengal has been dogged by controversy since April last year. We may not know the meaning of the word dogged by, but we can understand the use of this word since. Since April last year, मतलब last year से क्या चल रहा है? Controversies चल रही हैं. तो implementation of this scheme भी आगे बढ़ता जा रहा है और वो controversies भी तब से चली आ रही हैं. That is the meaning of the word. So, when the center froze funds because the state government had rechristened the scheme as Banglar Awas Yojana. Rechristened means to rename it. I have not highlighted it, but I am just giving you this word. Christine करना मतलब नामकरण करना होता है. Now, in November, it softened its stance and approved its share of rupees 8200 crore. The funding for the scheme is split between the center and state in a 60-40 ratio. The resumption of the funding came with a stern reminder to West Bengal to not deviate from the due procedures. Stern reminder मतलब देखो नहीं deviate होना है, तो that becomes a very strict warning, you can say. It asked the state government to ensure that districts formed teams of special officers to investigate allegations of corruption. So there have been allegations of corruption, and the state government needs to investigate in that matter. So these warnings seemed to have been ignored. ये author बोलता है. Warnings तो दी है center ने. So what all has the center done? First is it froze the funds. Next, when it brought the state government to toe the line, it came up with a very stern warning that see, this is what you have to do. Possible now, the state government has ignored it, according to the author. Protests erupted after the list of beneficiaries were made public. In Murshidabad, 17 TMC Panchayat members resigned, fearing local resentment over the alleged irregularities. Unfortunately, instead of probing the matter, this is again the author's point. The matter should have been investigated. That why are these people resigning all at once? Because their names were in the list of the beneficiaries. Then of course the people protested that how are these people who are the TMC panchayat members, that means definitely they own pakka houses, so how are they in the list? So all this shows that there has been corruption. ये पूरा उसका एक that is the reasoning and the exemplification that they are giving about this Murshidabad. Now, the TMC has been dogged by allegations of graft and corruption ever since it replaced the left front as a party holding office in West Bengal. Now, again, we get this word here, और since भी है साथ में, मतलब तब से उसके ऊपर allegations चल रहे हैं. Now, after the 2019 Lok Sabha polls, the party supremo had admonished TMC members who were accused of taking bribes. Cut money in the state's parlance, मतलब state की भाषा में, आम भाषा में cut money बोलेंगे. From people wanting to avail social welfare schemes. Now, the opposition took this as a tacit admission of the corrupt ways of TMC members. Protests broke out in several parts of the state with people demanding that TMC leaders return the money. This is what the protest was about, that the TMC leaders should return the money. A year later, after Cyclone Amphan ripped through West Bengal, an investigation by this newspaper revealed nepotism and political favoritism in the dispersal of relief funds. That means cyclone के बाद जब relief funds उनको दिए गए, तो आखिर वो funds गए कहाँ, right? So they understood that they investigated, and then what they found, that there has been nepotism. Now, if we do not understand the meaning of the word nepotism, we can still understand this word political favoritism, right? This is again another word, but a simpler word would be this, and. तो जो हम बोलते हैं ना कि अंडरस्टैंड द बेसिक्स ऑफ लैंग्वेज, दिस इज वेयर यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि एंड वर्ड का यूज होता है. इट कंसिडर्स और इट जॉइंस टू सिमिलर थिंग्स, two similar phrases, two similar words. So it can't come up with a positive and a negative together. उसमें फिर but use हो जाएगा. And है अगर तो nepotism and political favoritism. So these are two in the same line. So that in the dispersal of relief fund, dispersal means when they distribute the relief funds, then favoritism is being followed there. The party had issued show cause notices to at least 200 of its members. State government officials have assured that they will weed out the names of the ineligible from the Prime Minister Awas Yojana list. They must give the task the utmost urgency. The government officials have said, the state government officials have said that they will weed out. What the author is now saying, that they must give the task utmost urgency. More importantly, the TMC government must ensure that delivery of welfare is as per due process and not as patronage. Patronage means supporting. So it should be according to what the yojana is. The process के हिसाब से चलना है. Support नहीं करना है, सिर्फ आपको किसी को favor नहीं करना है. You don't need to provide some ineligible member as or make him a beneficiary of that yojana. So easy, moderate, you can say, but you have understood this much. We'll come up with the main ideas. Now see, the first paragraph we had done, it seemed to be using the yojana for personal benefits. Protests against ineligible people tha, impropriety began at the first year. That was the indication that the author had given. कि कहाँ से start हुआ था? Then the rest of the first paragraph was actually giving that example. Then second says that this implementation has been going on along with the controversy since April. तो प्लान या योजना इम्प्लीमेंट हुआ, उसके साथ साथ कंट्रोवर्सीज भी होती गई, पर लेकिन ये चलता रहा प्लान. रिजम्पशन ऑफ द फंडिंग केम विद अ स्टर्न रिमाइंडर, जब फिर सेंटर ने उसे बंद कर दिया था फंड देना. राइट, रिज्यूम कब किया? तो रिज्यूम करने से दैट मीन्स इट अगेन स्टार्टेड गिविंग द फंड, बट देन इट गेव अ वार्निंग आल्सो, एंड दैट टू अ वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट वार्निंग. एंड व्हाट वाज द वार्निंग? That they should not deviate from the due procedures. That means according to the process they have to work. They need to investigate the allegations of corruption which had been ignored. They have to do this was the center's point, but according to the author, all this has been ignored, seems to have been ignored. Now, the TMC members who were accused of taking bribes, investigation revealed nepotism and political favoritism. State government officials have assured that they will weed out the names. ये उन्होंने दिलासा दिया है कि ठीक है, हम उन लोगों का नाम बता देंगे, निकाल देंगे. तो weed out क्या हुआ? Weeds are some unwanted plants along with those plants which we have planted actually. So weeds would come out, but then we need to take out or remove the weeds so that they do not consume the area, they do not consume all the nutrients of the soil. वो होते हैं weeds, unwanted plants. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर वीड आउट करना मतलब जो नहीं रिक्वायर्ड है, जो इनएलिजिबल है, उन लोगों को उस लिस्ट में से हटा देना. सो दे आर गोइंग टू वीड आउट द नेम्स ऑफ द इनएलिजिबल फ्रॉम द लिस्ट. They must give this task. Now, again, the author's point that they must give the task the utmost urgency and also ensure that the delivery of welfare is according to the process, according to the procedure, and not according to the patronage or whatever we feel like or the state government feels like. वो होता है patronage, हमारी मर्जी, तो वो biasness आ जाती है, prejudice आ जाता है, favoritism हो जाता है. Right? And here we are with the subtitle. Irregularities in housing project are yet another instance of corruption in West Bengal. The government must take correctives. That means a corrective action. Clear? I hope you have understood this. Coming up with the vocabulary, yeah, today we had quite many words. In one or two sessions that I've just recently taken, I have used this word dilapidated in a class, in an offline class. So those people who are reading this can kindly go through their notes and see we have done this word dilapidated, derelict, and decrepit. Right? I had also written the word neglected on the board. कि मतलब जिन चीजों पे I had given an example. 2 साल तक कोई अगर फॉरेन चला गया है तो उसका घर सोचो एक बंगला है. No caretaker is there. And they have a beautiful garden, not a bungalow, they have a garden also. And for 2 or 3 years, that person is out of the country. When he comes back, what will be the condition? It would be a neglected one, right? But now we are talking about the houses here. So if the house is in a dilapidated condition, that means it is almost um, not a pakka house as it is according to the passage we can understand this, but it is in a very miserable condition. एकदम टूटी फूटी हालत में, जैसे ruinous हालत में होती है, वैसा हो जाएगा. ठीक है, impropriety is something that is not proper, and if it is not proper, it is indecent. Doggedma is it is to continue in spite of the problems. Stern, we have understood it from the paragraph only, it is strict or demanding. Erupted, like volcano eruption, we have always heard the word, no, volcano erupt, but then sometimes the anger also erupts. तो erupt होता है मतलब कोई तुम किसी को ना बिल्कुल परेशान करते जा रहे हो, but that person is very patiently listening to you and suddenly he erupts. ठीक है, तो erupt का मतलब होता है भड़क जाना, एकदम फूट जाना. तो फूटने को हम exploding कह सकते हैं, sudden went out we can say. Probing, probe is true. So probing is investigating so as to find the truth. That is the root word probe. So investigating or searching, you can understand. Graft is again, as I said in the very first part, that okay, graft ka either plant में grafting होती है, skin grafting होती है. So that way, that is a transplantation, that is implantation, or it is just a shifting from here to there. Supremo, as you can understand from the word only, it is supreme. A supreme होगा तो chief or head होगा. Admonish is again a word that I've done in the offline classes. Admonish is chide, scold, ठीक है, I had given you more words also. So when you reprove of something or you reproach somebody, you disapprove of something and hence you scold that person. And of course, then with the increasing intensity, you get more words like censure, castigate, lambast, criticize, reprimand. ये सारे words तुम्हें मिल जाएंगे. और जिस क्लास में मैंने लिया है, I have given you all these words, so you can again go through the notes. Yes, going through the notes, turning the pages, this is important. तुम ये मत सोचो कि हम ये वर्ड्स पढ़ने से इसका स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो और तुम लिख लोगे या वो याद रह जाएंगे. नहीं, जब तुम इसको देखोगे, जब लिखोगे, जब पेजेस पलटोगे, when you see the words, then you are going to remember them, and of course you need to come up with a reading. So you will get these words somewhere or the other, in a span of say 8, 10 days, 20 days, 15 days. Then you will be able to recall the words, and that is what we need. So parlance is jargon or common language. मतलब आम भाषा में जो बोला जाता है उसे parlance कहते हैं. Tacit is unspoken, implicit, and with the tacit, I'll give you more word that is taciturn. Again, this word I've taken in the class, and for those who for whom this is a new word, understand taciturn means a person who is an introvert. He would not speak much. तभी वो tacit unspoken से आ जाता है. So introvert हो सकता है. Reticent is another word for used for an introvert, or a reserved person means he doesn't speak much, right? So you can write down these three words again for a taciturn person, which is the opposite of talkative. So taciturn यानी शांति से बैठा रहता है, ज्यादा बात नहीं करता है. Nepotism हमने कर लिया था. Biased, favoritism, prejudiced. Dispersal of the relief funds होता है ना. Dispersal यानी किस तरीके से उसे पे आउट करना. Usually this word is used with money. So dispersal related to money कर लेते हैं. To weed out, we have understood it from the passage only. Weed out is to take out or to remove, and hence reject. And patronage, again, the word patron means support, somebody who is helping you, patronage. So the support or the aid given. So this was in the last sentence where it says, the author says that, see, the state government should do this according to the process and not according to the patronage. So that's all for today. I hope I hope you read this, note this down, and say after 4 days or 5 days, read it again. All the words. So tomorrow is 26, so we won't be able to do this. But yes, next day you have Saturday. Of course, you will get another editorial. ठीक है, जो कल का न्यूज़पेपर होगा उसका हम सैटरडे को करेंगे, because tomorrow will be a holiday. So you have time enough to go through the previous editorial discussions. So thank you everyone, and a very happy Republic Day to all of you. Stay logical. Thank you.